hi everybody, and also I hope that my English will be enough to explain what's my question. Okay, we just learned about the Moshe, how he helped all the Jewish people go through the Egypt and through the Red Sea. So why we have to believe that's the God, to the version that's the God or miracle help to Moshe to take all Jewish people and walk through the sea, while we don't believe that Jesus walked through the sea?
Her question is, we're just starting about Moses, but we do know that later on in the story, well, at the rate we're going, it might be in 2 years from now, Moses is going to lead the Jews out of Egypt and will cross the Red Sea. So why do we believe that Moses led the Jews to the Red Sea, but we don't believe that Jesus walked on water?
Well, very simply, why don't you go back a little further? Why do you believe that Moses in the Torah, the Old Testament, why not believe in the New Testament? That's the same question. Maybe go back even to further and more basic question, not just one action of splitting the sea and walking on the water. Go back and ask, why do we believe in the Old Testament? Why don't we believe in the New Testament? Ask that question. That'll answer this question too. And this answer is very, very simple, because that is very important to know. The big difference between the Jewish tradition and the non-Christian or any other religion is that at the time that God gave the Torah to Mount Sinai, there were millions of people that witnessed it. They saw God coming down with the lightning and the thunder, speaking to Moshe Rabbeinu, and all the action that happened at that time. And God spoke to them. They heard his voice speaking to them, was witnessed by millions of people. By any other religion, for instance, Yoshka that I don't want to say his name, Yoshka that you're talking about, he was not witnessed by anybody. Maybe one or two of us. He had 5 disciples, and they decided that he is God's son. And the whole thing of the belonging story about he's the son of God and the whole Trinity, the whole thing. So this was something that was made up by one person, few people. They came along and told people, hey, look what happened. God changed his mind. He gave a new law. He took away the old Torah, gave a new Torah. What are you talking about? God came down with millions of people, gave the Torah, and they told their children afterwards, millions of people, tens of thousands of people gave over to every generation, the next generation. And this is the true Torah that God gave. Nobody's can come along and say, a guy made up a story that, that God changed his mind, and I'm a son of God, and he's, what are you talking about? He'd come along and believe a story like that. Someone walking to say, I'm the son of God. Even if he makes miracles, he can make miracles, made miracles. God tells us in the Torah, if somebody comes up and tells you, let's change the Torah, and he makes miracles, don't believe him. He can make miracles, but he is not my shliach. He's not my emissary. He's not my person giving over to you. I gave my man as Moshe Rabbeinu. Moses gave the Torah to the Jewish people. God will never change his mind, and this is the true religion, and we have millions of people saw it. So anything about the New Testament is false. There's no truth to it. It's just by a few people that came along, and they talked a lot of people into it, and it's very convenient. It says in the Torah openly, there's no form, God has no form, he's not a man, he's not an animal, not in the heavens, not in the earth. They come along, no, he's God. 10 Commandments. It says don't believe in any other forms of God. God has no form. They come along now, oh, the Son of God, he has a form, he's a person. So this is why we don't believe in the New Testament. It's null and void.
Seems somebody didn't get the gist of it, so I'm going to try to recap quickly. I think I'm going to try to be the answer. Maybe everything was a sign or a hurricane, but so her question is, why do we believe that it was a miracle?
What?
Why do we believe it was a miracle that the sea split? Maybe it was a tsunami that happened to come by just at that time, which is also a miracle. Which would also be a miracle, right? Angel, that would also be a miracle. Tsunami came and split that's how God works, right?
Well, we know because God
exactly
told Moshe Rabbeinu. They told it from before.
No, but I'm saying if the sea split by some act of nature, just when the Jews had to go by and the Jews went through, and then as the Egyptians came in, it crashed down on them. That would also be a miracle.
Yeah, we could say, I don't know, it wasn't a miracle. I mean, everything's a miracle. Once you believe in God, everything's a miracle. But I'm saying over here, nobody can say that because it says in the Torah.
No, she's saying, well, who says it was a miracle?
Said from before, God said to Moshe Rabbeinu, put your hand, staff, and split the sea. It's going to split. He told him in advance. If it's a natural phenomena that happened by itself, you can't predict it's going to happen. God said from before, I'm going to make the sea split. So it wasn't a thing that happened all of a sudden by itself. There was foretold that this is what's going to happen. So just like all the 10 plagues were told from before. Each one, blood, it was blood. Told from before, it's going to be blood. It became blood. So everything was foretold from the very beginning. So we know it wasn't a natural phenomenon. It was something that God made thing.
Don't